Hello friends, welcome back. It's BigDenoPlays time. We're going to play the next episode in Chronicles of Drunagor, Chapter 3. I'm excited. We've had a pretty good run so far, mostly because I've played all these missions already. This one's new, so I'm pretty excited. Let's go over to the book area. We're going to read a little bit about this chapter. As night falls in the 5th day of your journey, you wander into the market square of the city nicknamed the Jewel of the Free People, as it is ruled by a council of representatives, not a king, a place that offers big opportunities to anyone who has deep pockets or shallow morals, where every day seems to be a carnival. But this evening, the mood was anything but jubilant. The city guard seems worried, torches fill the streets, and the heralds shout a curfew amidst the pandemonium. All the passers-by are too uneasy to help you find Thamagar, and you don't blame them. Their distress is great, and wherever you look, you can see macabre figures dressed in beaked robes and walking by carts that you realize are horror piled with corpses under the rags. Not good. Some diseases come over the Umbralians, and with the city overcrowded by refugees from everywhere, it spread like wildfire. The sweating disease, as the mob has started to call it, is Admiral Lucanor's revenge, he who was injured by the Council of Merchants last year, or so you hear through the grapevine. Dazed by all this madness, you are still trying to cope with everything when your eyes meet a familiar shape moving over barricades that have been assembled by the wharf. Those things are here, the disease, the chaos. None of that is a coincidence. The city is under attack. Could the undead king come here? You can't help yourself from asking. Knowing the danger, you try to warn the guards commanders, suggesting they use their soldiers to search for any uncommon gathering, any chanting or ritual, anything. But the confusion is too great and nobody listens. Then, at a nearby pier, you see an old warehouse where the now familiar emerald lights flicker like pulsars, glimmering through the black of night. Like a moth attracted to the flame, you want to chase it, even if that demands fighting your way across a dock cluttered with enemies, certain that it was your own decision, for the good of the city. Cool. So, darkness spawning rule is the same. Darkness behavior is the same. Recall is the same. Winning and losing is the same. Start the adventure. So, we have to set up this map, which looks exhaustive, and we have to set up a black monster, a grey monster, rune tokens, chest tokens, and then another grey monster and a white monster. And we also have a special mechanic called Monster Raid. There are creatures everywhere. We use the Shadow Vampire Spawn scenario monster card and the Monster Raid. And then we can also go to these barricades and block the monster's entry points. To do so, you must be adjacent to a rune that they want to block and expend 1 action cube. If they do, remove that rune from the board and place it on the initiative track. Also, the hero gains Focus 1. This counts as a cube action and cannot be taken if there is at least 1 monster adjacent to that rune. When the number of runes equal to the number of heroes have been removed from the board, the end of the hero's current turn reads Special Event, a Captain in Distress. Here it is, it's the dungeon. This is an expansive map, actually. I'm still not getting all of it in the shot, which is crazy. Might have to go even higher. But you can see we've got our 2 heroes here, Tork and Drasek, and then we're using a different monster. So my plan is for pretty much every mission we'll use a different monster, because I've painted them all, so it'd be good to use them all. So in this mission, we're using an Executioner, a Walking Horror, and then an Abomination, which is our black monster. And we also have the Shadow Vampire Spawn, and this special rule Monster Raid, which is one we'll have to read when it comes to that. Our blue monster, which is an Executioner, has 12 health. So does Yellow Executioner. Our pink is a Walking Horror. It has 12 health. And the Abomination, 15. Okay. So our objective is these runes, and we need to close them off so that we're stopping monsters from pouring in. So we can go one of 2 ways. We can go towards this black one and then shut this one and do those 2, but then we face the Abomination. Or alternatively, we could go this way and then move to the red one, which is probably a bit safer, but I get the feeling that we are going to have to contend with all of the monsters at some point, and we are going to have potentially the shadow vampires spawn also. So, yeah, interesting times. I think we're good to go, so let's just nip over to the initiative tracker. So we're going to go Tork. Now, one of the things I talked about at the end of the last episode was how we gave Tork the Orcish blade, which allows you to only make a single attack from each attack action. And I was using the leader on Drasek, which allowed him to make an extra attack. However, now I've removed that, and we're going to go with the controller instead on Drasek. So the controller has a self-heal whenever an enemy dies, and it has some magic attacks that we can do from range to move enemies away and do some other shit. So, good. We still have our Scroll of Incinerate up our sleeve as well, and our objective at the moment is to read Special Event, a Captain in Distress on page 18 by closing 2 runes. So let's get started. Over here, we start with Tork. So, which way do we go? I think we're going to go for the black one so that we can open 2 chests up in the back corner, which you can't quite see, but I will shift the camera when we get to that point. So, now, if Tork goes 1, 2, 3 for his move action, he is in range to make an attack. This guy has 12 health, and our Orcish blade is... Yeah, so if we're quite fortunate here, we'll use a yellow action. Or do we use a blue? Yeah, let's use a blue. So we'll enrage. We'll self-shield 4. Is our first. And then we also get a fury. And we will then do our beheading strike. So we're +3 to hit and +2 damage, crit 16 plus. So our 16 plus here will just straight one-shot this guy, which would be cool. A 7. So 7 is not a 16. However, we have +2 to hit, +3 to hit, which is a 9 plus for this. So we do hit, and it is 5 damage. So that guy suffers 5 damage, down to 7. And so Tork has done his blue and his yellow, and he is done. So we'll then move over to Drasek. So Drasek's not going to be able to get there in range, but we can do some pushes, which would be fun. How far does that guy move? 4. That can be done from any range. Yep, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and we will, actually we won't go there, we'll go here. So this guy goes 1, 2, 3, 4, so he can't get to us there, and he can't get to both of us there. Cool. We will use our, actually do we just stun him? Yeah, we'll go here. So we'll go to here. We're going to use a red cube to do 1 damage and stun an enemy, which will stun this guy, which means he's going to lose his attack, which is good, and it does 1 damage. And then, do we have any good options at this point? Probably comfortable with doing that again, actually. Yeah, we use a green cube to gravity push for 2 damage. 1, 2, and then we'll move him 3. 1, 2, 3. Can't do anything there. So that is Drasek done. And good turn, good turn. So we now have a Shadow Vampire spawn, however there's nothing for them. So this is the Monster Raid card. So let's have a closer look at the Monster Raid card. So if there is at least 1 monster on the board, this card has no effect. and you instead flip it over. Great. If there are none, manifest a rune and summon the indicated number of minions. Then flip this card over. So we're just flipping the card over. That's it. But it will potentially summon a Shadow Vampire minion. Who has how many health? 8 health. Is that right? 8 health. All right, that sucks. Great. So we now go down here to the Executioners. So the Executioners are immune to Intimidate and immune to Slow. So starting with the yellow one, we'll just review the stun rule for monsters. No attack, discard. So I'm going to assume that it moves to a position where it can attack both of us, and then it's going to discard its stun. This guy goes 1, 2, 3, 4 to get closer to us and does not make it. A walking horror. So he's speed 3. So the closest way is definitely this way. So he'll go 1, 2, 3, and that's him done. And finally this big guy. So he's 2, but he does move a single. Regeneration 1, strike 1, and stun. He stuns. I don't enjoy that at all. So he goes 1, 2 into the darkness. He's chasing us. He's chasing us. We're going this way. That's the end of the round, so we will now draw 1 rune. And we draw a grey rune. It is a little 2. So I think we'll go here. That's the closest. Yep. And we add that grey rune to there, which unfortunately means that this guy now regenerates. This flips over into draw 2 runes, and we're back to Tork. Okay, so our yellow Executioner has 4 health remaining, and we will start by doing a red cube action on Join the Fray. Do we need to do that? It's tricky, isn't it? 1, 2. And we've already got shields, so we don't need to do that. We'll just do a Mighty Blow on that guy. We need a 9+, and we have +2 to hit, so we're down to 7. That's a 15, so that defeats the Executioner. Anytime a grey monster dies, Tork gains a Fury token, so he's got 2 Fury. And that's it. And now he's just going to move 1, 2 to here, and he's going to open the chest. Boom. 1 chest. He has the teddy bear now, so whenever you draw a chest card, draw 2 cards and keep 1 of them. Scroll of Icy Bolts and a Potion of Fortitude. I think for the moment, the Potion of Fortitude is probably safer. No, let's actually use this Scroll of Icy Bolts, and we'll actually just use it straight away. So, Scroll of Icy Bolts. Up to 2 targets, 3 damage, and knockdown. So, big monsters are immune to knockdown. So we can't get the Abomination, but we can get the Executioner, and we can get the Walking Horror. So we'll discard that straight away to do 3 damage to both of them. 9, 9, and they are both knocked down. So that's good. He still has his second cube action. So let's do a green jump 3, target adjacent enemy, 2 damage. So we'll get the abomination for 2 damage. Jump. And we're adjacent to that rune to be able to close the door. But we can't do that at this point in time. Over to Drasek now. So a Valiant Smite feels like it may be the right option here. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. We have a height advantage because we're on a elevation, so we're +2 to hit. Drasek is going to do a Valiant Smite, so we're +3 to hit with a reroll, and we're +2 damage. So we roll a 15, so that is a hit. With the reroll, we don't need it. +2 damage is 6 damage to the abomination. Down to 7. We have a second cube action. And at this point, I don't think we need to do anything. So we may we'll just focus 1 and cleanse 1 so that we can start building up some focus. He has some good abilities when he gets focus. That's Drasek done. Plenty of health, but now we're going to start to get some heat. So the Monster Raid card goes next and it triggers. So let's have a look at the Monster Raid. Discard a rune and summon the indicated number of minions using the revealed rune on the board as their spawning point. Then flip this card over. So we will reveal a red rune. Get out of here. So that will go over on the board and we will spawn a shadow vampire minion over here. So he has 8 health. Now, fortunately, he doesn't act because he has his initiative card right prior to this. We now flip this Monster Raid over. We now do this Executioner. So the Executioner is knocked down, so he does not move anywhere. He does nothing. The other Executioner is dead. So we go over to the Walking Horror. Guess what? Also knocked down. Doesn't go anywhere. Doofus. Finally, the Abomination. He is already adjacent and he is in darkness, which is not good. So he has regeneration 1. So regenerates 1 health. And then he does strike 1 stun. So he's going to target the most HP, which is Drasek. So Drasek is going to cop a strength 5 attack. And he'll just use his yellow cube to self-prevent 5 on his breastplate, which means he takes no damage, which means he does not suffer stun. We now draw 2 runes, and the darkness gets a blue rune with one of those, and an orange rune with one of those. Okay. Wonder if it can come from this darkness. Probably can. And a little one. So that is both of our brave heroes under the influence of darkness. So that's 2 damage to both of them. 1, 2, 1, 2. We will do a retaliate action from Tork when he attacked Drasek. Okay, we're back to initiative of Tork. So the first thing we want to do is expend our cube to close the barricade adjacent to a rune they want to block and expend 1 AC. If they do, remove that rune from the board and place it on the initiative track. Boom, on the initiative track. Boom. Then remove 2 runes of the same colour from the bag. They are not placed on the board. 2 runes of the same colour, not placed on the board. Let's put the bits there. This counts as a cube action. It cannot be taken if there is a monster adjacent to the rune. There is not a monster adjacent to that rune. So that was expending that cube. So Tork now does an unwilling recall, which means he's going to put a curse cube out. We'll put it on savage charge. And then he has 5 health left. So we will take a mighty blow. We're currently on darkness. That's a 10, so it's -2 for being on darkness, but +2 for the mighty blow, which is a hit. And that does 5 damage, which is enough to defeat the abomination. Get out of here, you idiot. And then Tork has his move action, so he is going to go 1, 2, 3, which means he's going to suffer another 2 damage from moving on darkness, down to 11 health. So that's Tork complete. Go over to Drasek. So Drasek is going to take 2 damage, 1, 2, for moving on to darkness as well. Cannot close this rune here because there is a monster adjacent to it. So he's just going to go 1, 2, 3. Say the runes were unable to be walked on, so let's assume that's the case. So we'll then swing on the, actually no, we'll do this. We'll go here and we will heal 2 and cleanse 1 using a blue cube. We'll cleanse his curse. Then we're going to have to take a curse cube ourselves, and we'll put it on intercept, and then we'll use a red cube to stun that walking horror. So the walking horror, 1 damage and stun, which means he can walk to us, but he can't attack us. You stupid idiot. Cool. So let's go back to the initiative tracker now. So we now have one of the Shadow Vampire minions. So they're going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. Bloodseeker, not going to matter. Monster Raid, we flip Monster Raid. Executioner, this guy goes 1, 2, 3, 4. The Walking Horror is stunned, so he's going to go 1, 2, 3, but he can't make an attack because he's stunned. And finally, the Abomination is dead. We're now drawing a single rune from the bag. And we draw a little L shape. And that's still going to be enough to get both of our heroes again. One, two, 1, 2. Back to Tork. All right, so that fatty Boomba has 8 health left. A beheading strike kills him straight away. Yep, so let's do that. Let's do a beheading strike. If we get a crit on a 16, still yet to get a single crit on this, 16 plus. It's a 6. Now, currently we are on darkness, so that is actually going to miss, I think. 9 plus 3 minus 2. That is absolutely going to miss. That is devastating. I feel very sad. I feel extremely sad. Okay. Should have moved. We'll go to there using a green cube for we'll actually just move using a blue cube to move. And we'll open a chest. So you can't see the chest here, but guess what? I've moved the camera up so you can now see the chests that were hidden back here. So we grab that chest. Once again, we will shuffle our... We get, the forgotten treasure. And a potion of preparation. So we'll take the forgotten treasure, which means we get to shuffle the deck and hopefully get something that we can use. The camp items deck. So this is all the level 1 camp items. So what would we like here? Probably leather armor or offhand weapon. So a round brass shield, can't use that. Well, we've already got the kite shield. Light thorn mail, plate armor. Marksman bow, range weapon. I can't use any of those, I don't think. Is the round brass shield better than the kite shield? The kite shield prevents 2 for everyone in the... We'll definitely keep the kite shield. I guess we'll just take this light thorn mail. Maybe we'll change that because we can use that. Bummer. All right, it's Drasek's turn. So he's going to jump out of the darkness using a move. And then we will use a yellow melee cube to do 2 damage and push 3. Because I want to close that door, I think that's most important. Yep. So push 3. 1, 2, 3. And 2 damage. 1, 2. Good. And now we'll close that barricade using this blue cube. Green cube, we'll use a green cube. So we've closed the second barricade. So this gets added to the track. Boom, we draw 2 orange out of the bag. 2 orange out of the bag. And now we read a special event, a captain in distress, at the end of the current hero's turn. Yeah, I don't think he's doing anything else. Yep, cool. Page 18, a captain in distress. Doing your best, you manage to clear some ground on the docks and hold the assault at bay, creating hurdles in the alleys from where the enemies came. The battle continues all over the port, but at least in this district, you have turned the tide in favour of the defenders. However, you still can't find a pathway to the warehouse, and the fumes from the blazing fires aren't helping. Suddenly, you witness a curious scene from the lower docks of a ship dock nearby. A man runs into dry land. "Ahoy, mate! Would you mind giving me a hand?" he yells without even looking at you. You could feel some amusement in this situation if it wasn't such a tragic one, because right behind him, more and more of those things emerge from the ship's sides, something you've never seen before. You wouldn't even have noticed it if not for a small detail that caught your attention. On the other side of the vessel, slightly sunk into the reef, rests the entrance that you were looking for. We're going to add some stuff. Cool. So we're going to put an interaction token. Okay, so I'll come back and do that. Okay, we've set it up. We now have a door here and an entrance to what we were looking for. So I'm assuming we should probably go that way. However, some more monsters spawned. We spawned ourselves another grey monster down here. Sorry, another white monster here and a grey monster here. So that is less than ideal. Okay. So that was the end of Drasek's activation, which means it's all monsters all the time. So Shadow Vampire, speed 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we are going to spawn a Shadow Vampire. And we're going to spawn a green. Oh dear. There is a lot of monsters on the board. Somewhat more than I have seen in any mission prior to this. That is exciting, but also a little bit scary. We go down to the Executioner now. So I have not given him 2 swings. He does target the enemy with the highest health, which is Tork for the moment. So he will go 1, 2, 3, 4. Can he get there? I think he can get there. Cleave 2, bleed 1, and slow. And he just does 4 damage. Tork fortunately has 4 shields, so he doesn't have to do anything. But we will retaliate for 3, I think. So that's red. He's not even on here that you can see. It's 9. The second Executioner is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. He does not get into range. Walking Horrors, speed 3. 1, 2. Unfortunately, he is going to attack from darkness, which is awful. This guy will go 1, 2, 3. Was that interaction tokens 2? It was interaction token 2. I don't know what that is, but I reckon we go back there and try and track it down. So that pink one, he's going to cleave and do 4 damage, but fortunately Drasek has his Endure from his breastplate, and he will endure and suffer no damage. So he does not suffer poison or intimidate. And the abomination is gone. So we're just going to draw 2 runes. Green and that. So I think... Ugh. That one's going to go there. And then the L shape is going to go... there. Tork taking 2 damage, getting punished. Green, orange. Back to Tork. Okay, so do we rush for the door, or do we try and clear some of these monsters? So I think we'll do Tork. He's attacking a dude who has 9 health left. He hasn't got a lot of good options here. Heal 2, cleanse, tumble, make only a single, yeah, okay. He does have his 2 fury that he can use, so I think what we'll do is we're going to move 1 using our movement action. We're going to open the chest because we're not adjacent to a monster, and you can interrupt your movement with a scroll of icy bolts and a scroll of incinerate. We'll take the icy bolts. That's probably going to get a look in straight away, I reckon. And then he's still got 1, 2. And then he's going to use this red to join the fray. Move 1, 2 to here. And he will then swing his axe at range on the Executioner. He also gains shield 2 from that attack. No longer in elevation, but not in darkness. That's a 12, that's a hit. So we'll do 5, 6, 7, leaving him on 2 health. And we will then, I can jumping leap. Jump 3, target adjacent enemy 2 damage, which will kill him, and that'll make the icy bolts more effective. Maybe that's the go. Didn't want to jump adjacent to him though, I wanted to jump further down. 2, 3. So that was spending my fury tokens, but I'm going to gain 1 back when this guy dies. So let's use the scroll of icy bolts to kill him, and we'll do 3 damage to this guy, and knock him down. And then Tork is going to use his green cube to jump. 1, 2, 3. He's going to do 2 damage to the pink guy, which will kill him. And leaves the mighty Drasek free. And he also takes 2 damage himself from the darkness. That's okay. It was a good turn, I think. Over to Drasek now on the initiative track. He's definitely going to be in darkness, but we don't want to be in darkness at the start with both of us in darkness. So we'll do a Dragon's Breath. So we'll strike 1, plus 2 to hit. We're also elevated against this Executioner. So we're a total plus 4 to hit. We roll 6, which is sufficient. That does 4 damage and burn 2. So that guy, this is 5, burn 2. We're then going to do a Righteous Purge, which is heal 2. We'll heal ourselves for 2. And a 2 damage, and we will do the 2 damage to him as well. He's on 3. It is going to kill him though, but not enough. The question I've got now is that I want to try and look into this door. How many tokens? I've got heaps of tokens, so I've got time here. Those shadow vampires are not ideal. Drasek is going to do an unwilling recall. So is Tork, actually. Okay, so I've got to remember now this guy has whenever an enemy dies, self-heal 1. So 2 enemies died then, so he's back up to 14. We've definitely got to remember that because that is crucial. And then whenever Grey Monster dies, self-fury 1, so that's fine. Still have his movement to decide on where to go for Drasek. So what I'm trying to decide between now is, do I go over here and try and open up this door, or do I go here, start to split? There is going to be more monsters potentially coming from one of these 3 runes. Where is someone wants to... Oh, manifest a rune that was already removed from the board. So we might be safe on the runes. I think I'm gonna split This is never usually the right thing to do, but I feel like splitting is going to be better. One of the Shadow Vampires plots, he could bleed 2. Only 3 damage. I want to see what's behind door number 1. Alright, I'm doing it. 1, 2, 3. Great, that's the end of Drasek's turn. So, this guy goes... These guys both move 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So he's going to make a swing. We will... endure, prevent 5. So that does no damage. Monster Raid, flip, Executioner. He has burn 2 on him, so he's going to suffer 2 damage. So he's going to die on his next turn. He will swing on Tork. Tork's just going to retaliate to kill him now. Or do we... Yeah, we might prevent 3 because it's going to bleed and slow us. Yeah. We use our green to prevent 2 and move 2. So we are going to suffer bleed of 1 and slow. So our next movement action is -2. However, we do get to do a move too. So we're just going to move to here. 1, 2. Actually, we'll just go there. That's fine. So that's the end of the Executioner. It's actually an extra 2 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4 because of the darkness. Don't believe in that. In a thing called love. Walking Horror. 1, 2, 3. He's out of range. We're drawing 1 rune from the bag. It's a blue rune. It is going to not fit, or is it? Nope, it's definitely not going to fit. So we will draw 3 little ones, and we will go towards the strongest hero. And we will not get there. Flip our rune card. Back to Tork. So he first of all takes 1 damage from the bleed. So we definitely need to get some healing happening here, don't we? Maybe we should be running away from the darkness at this point. We have his jump. So fortunately, this guy just dies from his burning. He has burn 1 left. I forget Tork has 2 more health left because he had 2 shield up. So he's actually okay. Yep, okay. So here's what we're going to do. Oh, I don't have my green. Why do I use my green there? Better off with a blue there. Got 2 blues. Cool. So I'm going to use my green. Jump 3. Adjacent enemy suffers 1 damage. Now, this is not a move action, so I don't think the slow actually triggers on this one. So 1, 2, 3. So we don't suffer any penalty for darkness. 1, 2, 3. He suffers 2 damage. 10 left. And I will then I'll go for a beheading strike. If we get this off, we actually just kill him. We straight up kill him. So it's an 18. You fucking beauty. So that's +3 to hit, which is hits. It's +2 damage, which is damage 7. And then it's crit 16 plus. That's a 16 plus, which doubles the damage. So it does a lot of damage and kills that guy straight away, which heals Drasek again. Tork still has his move, so he's going to move 1, 2 to here and interact with this interaction token. And it is interaction token, page 10. Let's have a look. Well, we obviously want to know about Thaumagar. Admiral Lucanor, we're going to find out more about him in the next fight. But we know what's in the warehouse. People are summoning stuff. I definitely do not have this, so I'm not going to use that one. So it's either supplies or request that he help us in the fight. Let's ask for his help in the fight. 36. Where are we? 36. Request that he help you in the fight. Realizing that the captain wasn't defenseless and was more than capable of fighting, you urge him to ask to help you to get to the warehouse. I was thinking you'd never ask, he snaps at them, but I wouldn't try me luck alone against so many of them. But it's like the old folks say, give me a lever and I'll sail it to anywhere, he concludes jauntily, though you know these aren't the right words in context. Take the Neil Messick Companion Adventure card. Cool. Also gain focus 2 if you were the first person to this interaction token. Good work, Tork. You've had a great turn, actually. Focus 2. And Neil Messick companion card. I'm going to guess that's Neil. So let's see if we can find that. Allies, I think it's under. There he is, the ship captain. I don't know what to do with companions. I had no clue. I'm going to grab one of these little things because I think I've got a... Surely there's a little thing we can use. Oh my God, there he is. There he is, Neil. You great man. Awesome. I'll be back shortly. All right, we're back. Just had a quick little read of the sturdiness rules as well of how this companion goes. So this guy, he actually follows around Tork now. He makes melee attacks. He ignores darkness, is that right? Companions are pets, is there? Do they ignore darkness? I didn't read that. I didn't read about pets. Pets, if they suffer damage from... Pets only have 1 wound. Pets. I don't know, but I'm going to assume that it doesn't take damage from darkness because it doesn't exceed his sturdiness value. But I'm not 100% sure. So we could put him down on the board and we can put him here. So you can see they've actually got a little standee for him. How cool is that? A little guy. Neil Messick, the ship captain. So Neil does 3 damage. And he has movement 4. And he's got the loot special rule. What does loot special rule do? This is great. Neil, what do you do for me? Loot. If this companion deals a killing blow to an enemy, replace the target with a chest. Oh, I definitely haven't been rolling my trap dice, so I'll just do that now. Slow would have mattered. Nothing. Poison. All right, well, I did a cleanse on him anyway, so I'll remember that now. But anyway, well, in that case, we'll actually move to here, and we will... Oh, no, I'm going to move the ship's captain to there. He's going to hang out with us on our journey. Okay, so I'll put his card on the board there so that I know he goes after him. Boom, boom, over to Drasek. So Drasek's in a little bit of froth and boil and bubble. He's got 2 shadow vampires chasing him. But they both have Bloodseeker. And Bloodseeker is target the person with the least health. So I am going to do a Righteous Purge, which is heal 2 and 2 damage. And I'm going to do that on Tork, 1, 2. And the 2 damage will go on one of the shadow vampires. So we have a yellow one and a black one, so we'll do the yellow one. As you can see it, he's about to die from burn. Green is gone. And then I think we will focus 1 and cleanse 1. He's up to full health too because another monster died. So that guy's there. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. We're going to get attacked by both, are we? That's okay. So he's got focus 2 now, so we can heal 2 or we can hold on for our blazing smite with 1 more focus. Good. So the shadow vampire spawns. So they're both currently engaged already. So they're both just going to hit me for, oh yuck. Just going to check a rule, stand by. Okay, so even though they have Bloodseeker and they would target this guy, because they're only speed 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If they're speed 5, they would be able to get, this one would be able to get to him, but they both can't, so they'll both target Drasek. So he's already used his prevent 5. He is just going to take the damage for both of these. So that is going to be 3 damage apiece and bleed 2. Do I want to take bleed 2? I don't really want to take bleed 2. Okay, Tork's actually going to use a prevent. He's got a prevent 3 right there. So he'll prevent 1, bleed 2 on Drasek. And he'll take 1, 2, 3. And that will do for the Shadow Vampire minions. We're then going to spawn another one. Green. Damn, that's just not good at all. Another dirty little Shadow Vampire. We may have made an awful mistake here, friends, because there is a lot of Shadow Vampires appearing, following our brave Draconian warrior. That flips now. The Executioner, so he dies, so that triggers 2 things. First of all, grey monster, so flip there. Second of all, monster dies, heal 1. Enemy dies, heal 1. Grey monster dies. Perfect. So he is gone. So we'll make that Shadow Vampire. That Shadow Vampire. Okay, that's where we find ourselves. So there is no Walking Horrors left. We have to draw 2 runes. Both going to go towards Tork. That's good for us. First one. Can only go under here, like so. Second one though, that's definitely going to get us. Little Z. We'll go that way. 2 damage to Drasek. That's the end of the monster's turn. Go back to Tork. So what have we got going on here? I think we're going to be able to open the door. So he will go 1, 2, 3, and then we'll join the fray. 1, put up 2 shield. And because we're doing a Q, no, we've got a movement action, so we're fine. So we can interrupt the movement action to open this door. This is cool. All right. At last, you fight your way through the hordes and get to the warehouse. There, set in the corner at the back, is a lavishly adorned black arc from which emerges the emerald lights that gleam all over the night. And all that energy demands its tithe. The wooden structure is brittle, as if ages had passed in hours. The air is thick, and an unexplainable unease sticks to you just because you're there. You don't know what to do. Somehow you guess the answer is under the ark's lid. Boom! There's a commander. I've made a terrible mistake. I've made a terrible mistake. When this door is opened, right after completing its setup, go to interaction 41. The hero who opened this door is responsible for this interaction. When the commander is defeated, read special event, a curse in disguise. Okay, so 1 commander, 1 chest token, and that is it. So I am going to have to go and read about commanders right now because I have no idea. I'll be back. Okay. I'm not 100% sure on which commander to use because the game comes with quite a few, but there's a few things we need to do. So I have a commander card, which is this guy, Commander Bane. So we're going to use him. He goes above the grey, so he's alongside these minions when he activates, which is fun. These are not in the mission. And then, anytime you have a commander, you will take the commander attack deck, shuffle it, and draw 1 card for each hero playing in the adventure. So we're going to shuffle these bad boys, and we get 2 cards. We get this one, which is Reconstitution. Oh my god, heals twice X. That is awful. So Executioners and Glimpse of Madness. Okay, so I think that's all we need for the commander. This is going to be very, very fun and also probably very short because if he's healing twice, if he's healing 6 each turn, and then we calculate his health. So his health is 7 times 2 plus 2, 4, 28. So that guy has 28 health. I'm going to use a special cool model for the commander, even though it's not the Shadow Vampire Commander Bane. We're going to use this guy. And so he is placed here. And he is 28 health. Shit, that is a lot of health. Okay, so we're still on Tork's turn. So now that we have completed the setup, we go over to interaction number 41. Interaction 41. Okay. This place is falling apart. As soon as you put a foot on the plank in front of the door, you hear a loud crack and feel a chill running down your spine, while the ground around you starts to collapse. Replace map B6F with B4 spikes terrain. Okay. Get some spikes, eh? Boom. Then make an agility skill challenge of difficulty 13. Your agility cubes have a plus 2. Any hero has a watch your step status. We do not have watch your step. The challenge is successful without needing a roll. Okay. So this is a huge roll. We need an 11. That's a 19. That's lovely. Success. Even distracted, you manage to anticipate the mess of broken wood planks and splinters that would swallow you up and leave you in a bad position otherwise. As it happens, the shock even helps sharpen your senses. Gain focus 2. Nice. Focus 2. Tork now has focus 4. Place your hero on one of the edges of the map C6F that is adjacent to map B4F. Very cool. Your turn now ends, or your current move action ends. So that move action was an Into the Fray. We did have 1 movement point left. We used a red melee cube for that, or red ranged cube for that, which means we are actually now able to make an attack, which is quite nice. So using our Orcish Blade, we roll a critical failure and do absolutely nothing. Good work. Okay, so we now move on to this guy. So, can he walk over the spikes? I don't know if I'm going to have to read up on these companions and find out if they suffer bleed effects and so forth, but I don't think they do. So he's just going to go actually. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's going to have a swing. So he just does 3 damage because he's an absolute champion. Down to 25. Okay. So now if we go back to the initiative tracker, we now do Glimpse of Madness. This attack targets the 2 most tired heroes at any range, dealing 2 damage, Intimidate X, which is Intimidate 2, and Fatigue X to them. Okay, well, Fatigue X is, 2 damage, 1, 2. Do we want to do any prevention or anything on that? We cannot, so 2 damage. We have a shield, so no damage. And then 1, and then another 1, and then we have to put out a curse cube, so we'll put out a curse cube there. And Intimidate 2. Took no damage, so he doesn't suffer the curse. Intimidate. 2 damage, Intimidate X, and Fatigue X to them. Maybe we'll just assume that it does work like that. So Tork is full. Drasek, he has no way of preventing. So he will take 1, 2, Fatigue 2, 1, 2. We'll keep the green actually, 1, 2, and Intimidate 2. Okay, great, and that is the end of that card. So it's over to Drasek. He's going to get the hell out of there. 1, 2, 3. We're going to use his Periaptive Healing, and we're going to use green, so that can be done at any range. And it's a split heal 5. Each hero who receives at least 2 of this heal may also remove 1 condition, the whole stack that they have, which is an extremely powerful ability, Periaptive Healing. So we're going to heal Tork for 3 to go to 9, and we'll remove his Intimidate. And we're going to heal Drasek for 2, and we'll remove his Intimidate. That is nice. That then triggers a Curse Cube. And we'll put that on Righteous Purge. And then I think we're going to use our green cube here, which is going to be move 3 and heal 2. Is that the right option? I want to get in that door, but... Oh. Yeah, we need to get out of there. So yeah, we'll do an invigorating step. We're going to open the door first. And we're going to heal 2. 1, 2. We took 2 bleed at the start of our turn, so that nets off. Great. Let's have a look at what this one says. The clash for the Umbrellian Wharf is ruthless. Enemies came here from everywhere. Houses in flames, poorly lit alleys, even rising from the tides. Nowhere seems safe. But you find a tavern where some citizens have taken shelter and soldiers pause to catch their breath. A true haven. Among the occupants, you see one who, smiling more than he should, catches your attention. Hey you, adventuring type with the silly face. Come here. The neighbourhood's friend, Master Alessio, has an offer for you. Ooh, it's a chest and an interaction token. Cool. Okay, C10F. So I'll set that up now, be back shortly. This map is sensational, but there is a lot of map. I'm struggling to fit it on my camera. All right, so we've done the Bewitched Warehouse and we've done Vagabond's Haven. By expending one action cube while adjacent to this door, a hero can close it again. If they do so, as long as the door remains closed... Oh, that is actually brilliant. Maybe I'll close the door. Wow, okay. So we opened the door and we now did our green cube action, which is move 3. 1, 2, 3, heal 2. And Drasek heals 2. So we're now at that interaction token. We will flip that interaction token over. And that is interaction token 9. Let's have a look. Aha, Master Alessio. What a cool guy. Do we want to scold Alessio because he should be fighting, try to steal something from the table, tell Alessio to get away, he's not safe here, or ask for an equipment trade? We could trade that thorn mail actually. Yeah, let's do that. We'll do 27. Ask for an equipment trade. Knowing that winning the clash for the wharf is the most important thing to know. For the sake of goodness, you overcome your discomfort of doing business with a freeloader like him. Just the best goods that Umbril's Gullies can offer, says Alessio, offering his stuff. Draw 7 cards from the equipment level 1 deck. You may discard a non-starter equipment card you have to do that. Then return any of the cards you instead gain focus to. Okay, cool. So that's actually quite beneficial. So we draw 7 of these. So we have this light thorn mail. So we have lesser symbol of light, heals gain +1, not bad. Light maul, doesn't help us. Marksman's bow, don't need it. Boots of agility, it's a trinket. It's got some potential. Lesser displacement cloak, no good. How many is that? That's 5. Crossbow, come on, give me something that offhand weapon. Ring of precision, +2 to hit. I think we will take the boots of movement. Boots of agility. So we'll swap the boots of agility with that. Good work everyone, well done. So unfortunately we can't close the door, but we do have a chest in there that we can nip in there and have a look. Before we do that, I'm going to expend my scroll of incinerate and do 4 damage. No, and do 2 damage and burn 4 to the commander. So he's down to 23 and he is now going to burn 4. Okay, so it's been a good turn for us. We're very happy about that. So if we have a look at the dungeon, so the next to activate is actually the Shadow Vampire Spawn, who both have Bloodseeker, so they are going to target Tork. They're only movement 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. He actually is slowed down from the water. 1, 2, 3. He was also slowed from the water. So they're both chasing over here, which is excellent. And now the commander activates. So the commander is speed 5. He has jump. He also has Bloodseeker. He drains health X, where X is grey, so he's only draining 2 health. And he's going to slow us. He's immune to Intimidate, Stealth, and Stun. And he does 5 damage. So he will jump to here. He will steal 2 of our health. 1, 2, 1, 2. At the start of his turn, he burns for 4, which which is outstanding. So he's now down to 3. Put that on him like that. And then he does a 5 swing attack. So we're actually just going to retaliate on him for 3 damage. And that 5 swing takes us down to 2. So retaliate for 3 damage, he's down to 18. There are monsters on the board, so we don't draw a monster. We go into Reconstitution. The commander heals 6. Yuck. Back up to 24. No Walking Horrors, none of those. Drawing 1 rune, and then we're back to Tork. The 1 rune that we draw, Grey Rune. Good. Making the commander's attack better. Love that. Love that for me. Is he immune to stun? He is immune to stun. Okay. So we're back over to Tork. So you can see the commander is right there and Tork is ready to rip. He has Fury 2. He has his focus tokens. So we can do Log Splitter, Mighty Blow, Beheading Strike. Do we shell? So yeah. So what we might do is we might Self Shield 4 and Fury 1 because we're probably going to die if we don't do that. And then we'll do a Beheading Strike. So Shield 4. Fury 1 takes us to Fury 3, and if we manage to land the crit on this, we will expend all 3 Fury. And I think you can only expend 1 actually. I should check that. That's a critical, which is a natural 20. So this Beheading Strike is plus 2 damage, which takes it to 7, 8. That's 16 damage. 16 damage is down to 8. Tork the Mighty Barbarian is on fire. Guess what? He's spending 2 focus for his Log Splitter. And that is plus 1 to hit and plus 2 damage and stun. He rolls a 4. Oh, he doesn't hit. What a doofus. Plus 1 to hit. He needed an 8. Oh, that's so depressing. Oh well. Would have been great. Fortunately though, our little captain's helping us. Go, little captain. He does 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. He's got 5 health left. I think we're good here. I think we are good. Good work, Captain. Captain Neil Messick. Back over here. We do this one. This attack targets the 2 most tired heroes at any range, dealing 2 damage. So Tork is going to block 2 with that. Intimidate X and Fatigue X to them. Fine. Over here, 2 damage, 1, 2. Yeah, fine. And then it's Drasek's turn. So Drasek is going to... Do we interact with that thing again and then go grab a chest? So basically, if we go and have a look over here at the tracker, so our commander has 5 health left and he has burned 3 on him. So if we can do 2 damage, he's going to die at the start of his turn. Drasek, gravity push, 2 damage and push 3. So we can even push him into the spikes, which would be fun too. So we'll do that. So that's one of our cube actions. The second cube action, we can probably just use our periaptive healing and heal people. So yep, we'll do that. So we'll do our periaptive healing. Oh no, we can't because we don't have the right cube. That's fine. We can do it on ourselves for 5, which removes the intimidate that we did suffer. He's also got intimidate on him. And then we will use the blue cube for 2 damage and push 3. So the commander, we're going to push him into the spikes, so he's also bleeding from the spikes, which is fun. And then we'll interact and we'll do something else with Neil. What else? Alessio, sorry. Over here with Alessio. Let's tell Alessio to get away. He's not safe here. Well, we're about to lose that. Your spell attacks gain shield 2. Huh. We've just picked up a safeguard. Great. Safeguard status. Your spell attacks gain shield 2 and your weapon attacks gain... Alessio doesn't want to go anywhere, but our spell attacks gain +2, so actually that spell attack that we just did took him down to 1 health. Shadow Vampire minions. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then the commander burns to death. That's a good time to roll a critical from our champion Tork. Actually, he could go and look at that chest. Could potentially die from that, so we won't do that. Cool, so the commander just died. What did that say? When the commander is defeated, special event, a curse in disguise. Special event, a curse in disguise. Here we go. As the commander of darkness falls, your attention turns back to the enormous black ark. The emerald light was still there, contained as a shy glow, echoing beneath the loosened lid. You don't hear any dirge yet. A curious buzzing perseveres in your ears, and your gut twists more and more each step you take towards the strange piece of furniture. Even if gazing at the ark is somewhat nauseating, you feel irredeemably compelled to do it. The wooden planks creak and scream as you walk over them, and you sense this place isn't safe. The building was already weak by itself, but you suspect the same power that unnerves you also undermines the wood that forms the beams of the shed. Nevertheless, and even though it probably houses an evil artifact, you cannot help from wanting to reach for the ark and open it. A lonely drop of sweat rolls down your forehead while you ponder one of the most important decisions you'll make in your entire life. Totally clueless about what the consequences might be. Open the Book of Interactions to page 11. As a group, you and your partners must choose one option and proceed to its resolution. 11. All right, do we destroy the ark and whatever is inside, or open the ark and inspect its contents? Any thoughts, Mossy? Destroy the ark. Feels like the safe option. Let's do that. We'll destroy it. We're good heroes. We've got a paladin and a barbarian. Neither of them would be like, yeah, let's be friends with the ark. 39. Deducing that it would be better to destroy it, no matter what it is, you prepare yourself to deliver the first blow. A sudden flash of tetric verdant light, though, erupts through the cracks of the lid, totally engulfing your view for a moment. As soon as you regain your sight, you glance at the well-guarded treasure, a cube made of 6 chrome tablets, perfectly assembled. The gleam makes it clear and distinct. At its core, you discern, burns like a shy ember, but without any trace of warmth flowing from it, instead being cold to the touch. The party leader takes the Seed of Darkness card from the adventure deck and uses its front side. If any hero has the humbled or unbroken outcomes, they must erase them, and the party leader writes down Adamant on their campaign log. So we do have unbroken. So we now will write down Adamant. Cool. Then read End of the Adventure, You Better Run on page 19. So let's grab out that little adventure item. What was it called? Seed of Darkness. So much cool shit. Seed of Darkness. It's a trinket. What side did it say we were on? Whoa, that is awesome. That is a good trinket. All monsters consider you their primary target. Ah, interesting. I'll just quickly read and see if it's on the dim side or the other side. Front side, yep, dim side. Great. End of the adventure. You better run. The noise of wood snapping and breaking echoes around you. That burst of light damaged the warehouse structure for good. Certain of what will happen next and driven by an unknown willpower, you grab the cube. The following moments prove themselves the most terrifying this night so far. Pieces of wood and lumber fly everywhere, below and above, and you could swear that you'd be buried, pressed against the sharp, pointed reef. You run as if your life depends on it, and it really does. And without looking back, you go as fast as lightning through the first window you see. You dive deep into tides corrupted by death and darkness, while the building collapses in a cacophonous symphony ringing across the wharf. Dragged by the waves to some shore break 100 yards away, you almost feel grateful when you realise you are, surprisingly, facing a seaside keep from which a strong alchemical scent flows warmly through the air. Almost. The adventure ends here. You may now proceed to the camp phase and read after the adventure, meeting in mismatches. Camp phase, cool. We made it. That was an exciting mission. Very cool. So we'll do our camp phase and then we will do adventures in mismatches. I'll read that one. But that was great. Commanders are fun. They're really fun. So the camp phase is remove all condition tokens and resource tokens from your board. Boom, 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 boom. Each hero removes all curse cubes and heals back up to full. So we are up to 15. And we are up to 16. Recover all your action cubes. Erase all statuses. Auras and outcomes must not be erased. Receive the reward described in the Book of Adventures. Stash or retrieve any adventure or camp items you want to. Well, these boots of agility are awesome, but we also picked up this Seed of Darkness, so fun. All right, let's read the final part. Near a fireplace, rolled in a blanket, you turn yourself again and again, trying to avoid the cold or something. Your host is the sage Thamagar. Luck brought you to his workshop. Introductions made. You now all share a kettle filled with the best infusions from Hearth, land of the little ones. Valorai. The high priest doesn't really know what to do. Thamagar replies after hearing of your mission. I have rummaged through the most obscure tomes of the Library of Stars, and I'm certain the answers they seek aren't there. The doctrine of the setting sun did its work well in the past, he adds with an indignant tone, inviting you to agree, but you don't have a clue what he's talking about. The sage is tall, grizzly, and with Amaranian features. He could easily pass for someone's grandfather. Although he is old, he seems healthy and proud, maybe a little anxious. You suspect that constantly handling alchemy stuff could have something to do with his frantic attitude, but he shows certainty and erudition when he's speaking. Ignis Pyra, we need to go there, he presses you, brushing aside your natural inquiry about the destination. Of all people who preserve the true story, they are the closest. This isn't the first time we've faced this enemy, my fellow. Problem is that we have chose to forget. You argue and protest as best you can, but convincing Thamagar is impossible, and mentioning your previous encounter with the Undead King just worsens it. Understanding that the worrying and urgency of the sage will make him unmovable, you offer a bargain. Visit the Draconian town first, then Valorai. The night will be long and full of rhetoric and eloquence exercises. Although you talk about everyone and everything, you don't say a word of the mysterious cube you found, and you don't know why. We don't have a courier's job, so we are done. So rewards, each player chooses and unlocks a class ability. Side quest adventure. If you have the Ruins of Lucanor adventure pack, you can play it now, or you can go straight to chapter 4. We do have the Ruins of Lucanor, and so that will be the next mission that we play. Just quickly, I will pause and have a look at the class adventure abilities, and then that will be us done. Good mission. Okay, friends, so Tork is going to choose this one, Bloodlust. He's a barbarian, so he chooses a barbarian hero class ability. Whenever a black or white monster dies, self Fury 1. So now, anytime a monster, black, white, or grey dies, he gains a Fury token. And the level 2 ability is awesome. You may discard a Fury to reroll an attack you just missed. It also gains the bonus damage. So the Fury tokens are just like clutch. And Drasek is going to take Comforting Words. Your heals gain a +1 bonus. Ah! So that'll be fine too. And that is it. I'm going to have to rejig everything now because we're going to have to use those additional tabs to just mark the extra abilities. But that was awesome. That was a great mission. I really enjoyed that. Look at the map. It's so cool. We're just roaming around, getting chased by darkness. Yeah, good job, everyone. Well done. Tork, Drasek, on fire. We'll be back. We'll be doing the Ruins of Lucanor Adventure Pack. That is the next mission. So I'll catch you all in the next episode. BigDeno out.